Self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you. Katie Reed. When there's an imbalance in anything, diet, work, play, relationships, and so forth, that creates an unhealthy dynamic. Within our body, homeostasis is a self-regulating process that can stabilize internal conditions to adapt to and survive external challenges. Since the disruption of homeostatic mechanisms is what leads to disease, staying in the frequency of neutrality or above is beneficial to our physical, emotional, and mental health. In my video about forgiveness, I mentioned receiving a diagnosis and being able to heal my skin. In 2014, I noticed a scab on my left cheek that kept coming back after I would pick it off. This happened for a year before I saw a physician who told me it needed to be checked by a medical dermatologist. Recounting when the scab started forming, my family and I moved to the suburbs, so I had a 3-hour commute and wasn't wearing sunscreen because I thought being in the car was safe. Little did I know, my skin was still exposed during the long car rides. Meanwhile, I was feeling conflicted for more than 10 years because I knew my marriage wasn't working, though I still kept trying to keep the family together, to my own detriment. And the stressors continued to mount. After having my third child, we moved closer to my hometown as I changed jobs a couple more times and was contemplating whether to get a divorce. The scab got bigger and spread to other parts of my face with everything going on. I made an appointment for a referral, but the physician kept trying to push cosmetic services. It was an incredibly frustrating experience trying to get the care I needed. The doctor said the medical dermatologist would only see me if there was associated ulceration, irritation, or bleeding. So I basically needed to fall apart before the lesions could be addressed. When asking the dermatology office for guidance, they said actinic keratosis is pre-cancer and it was necessary to come in. At that point, I switched to a doctor of osteopathy because I was tired of conventional medicine, as well as the healthcare and pharmaceutical industry's profit-driven approach. The DO kindly made the appointment for me, and at the visit, the medical dermatologist kept examining the lesions and repeatedly said, "You're way too young for this." He outlined the options, including a biopsy, topical treatment, or waiting it out. I went with a cream to avoid biopsy scars. It was a 2-week treatment during which time I needed to stay away from the sun. The cream was really potent as it burned a section of my skin that didn't have any precancerous growth. I used it 2 more times during the divorce process and haven't needed it since. While healing, I was still booked for a modeling shoot to market a skincare product line. Ironic, isn't it? The condition certainly didn't stop me from living life. Any diagnosis would usually send people spiraling into fear and anxiety. However, I decided to take charge of my life by changing my environment, then relationship, job, and lifestyle. And of course, I started to use sunscreen specifically for actinic damage from my sister who's an esthetician. I surrounded myself with friends who brought lighthearted fun, and we would go out dancing, which was such a release. Clubbing was no longer an escape like in my 20s, but rather an intention to balance my emotions, connect with others, and get exercise. With each outing, people would comment on my energy, and lately, they've been saying I look 22 to 24, even though I'm 44 now. So dancing absolutely raises our vibration. I would feel elated the entire week, ready to face any challenges. The question though is, how do we stay in this elevated state after the weekend euphoria fades? For me, I make sure to recharge by nourishing my body and mind. Sleep is essential, and if I need more of it, that's the priority. Our body is an excellent indicator of what we need, so staying in tune with the rhythms and cycles enables us to notice anything that may be off. If I wake up too early, meditation helps me fall back asleep. And I build in moments of stillness and take naps during the day without trying to resist it or depend on caffeine. My daily morning routine consists of warm water with minced ginger, honey, lemon, and cayenne pepper. I used to add turmeric and black pepper, but someone told me that too much turmeric can cause swelling, which is counterproductive since it's used as an anti-inflammatory. After eliminating that, my digestion improved and I slimmed down a bit within a week. I would never have guessed consuming turmeric every day was the culprit. Back to my regimen. I typically eat before enjoying coffee because of the acidity. I also pay attention to my cravings, like when my body needs more protein, I'll make Peruvian steak salad or indulge in a cheeseburger. I love cheese but became lactose intolerant after my daughter was born. My skin would flare up if I had dairy, but recently I read that goat's milk has lower lactose content, and since the fat molecules are smaller than in cow's milk, it's easier to digest. So I'm super thrilled that I can eat cheese again after limiting it for 8 years. Other foods that nourish my skin are avocados, which I eat with eggs for breakfast, blueberries, and fish. I do drink alcohol socially, which might be every other week depending on my mommy's schedule. In terms of my career, I went through a phase of prioritizing work and not having the time or energy to focus on self-care. I allowed work to consume me for 10 years, even exerting myself until the wee hours of the morning, or a full 24 hours to complete deliverables. I placed myself last back then, and the self-sacrifice or overgiving was reflected in all my relationships while harming my health. Having the courage to decline additional assignments or invitations is empowering and could improve our well-being. Other lifestyle changes were getting back into music, which puts me in the flow. My body tells me when paddleboarding, hiking, or hot Pilates is needed to offset stress, though being consistent is key. Instead of staying in low vibration, I take action, and as a result, my skin has vastly improved. But a game changer was repeating positive affirmations. Last year, I started to express gratitude for my healthy skin, then there was a noticeable difference within weeks. This shows that we create our conditions through our thoughts, emotions, energy, and habits. I haven't seen a medical doctor since 2018, although I went to an acupuncturist a couple months ago. He didn't ask why I was there and instead pinpointed what needed to be improved by feeling my pulse and reading my energy. I went out that weekend, which showed on my face, but after a relaxing acupuncture session, I was rejuvenated. I didn't look tired anymore, and even a couple blemishes cleared immediately. And since then, the blockages in my digestive system have been removed. It's truly amazing. When I asked if the visits should be on a regular basis, Dr. Huang replied, only once in a while, depending on how I feel. Once again, listening to our body is critical. According to Dr. Chatterjee in his TEDx talk, inflammation is a symptom of many chronic diseases, such as arthritis or Alzheimer's, which my dad had. Dr. Chatterjee found that inflammation, and therefore numerous conditions, could be caused by the same set of factors: diet, stress level, sleep quality, physical activity, vitamin D, gut or microbiome health, infections, and environmental toxins. He said, in some people, one night's sleep deprivation can give you as much insulin resistance as 6 months on a junk food diet. Also in her TEDx talk, Dr. Engel discussed the gut-brain connection, which means a healthy diet and lifestyle with a balanced, diverse microbiome can positively affect how we think, feel, and act. Maintaining homeostasis requires practice and persistence, though it's worth being well. That's the only way we could live to the fullest. Staying mindful of how and with whom or what we nourish our body and mind helps us detox, recharge, and ground. With that clarity, we can access who we really are so we can become who we're meant to be. Feel free to share in the comments your body care routine. Here's a list of what's been helpful for me. Get sufficient sleep and observe your energy level. Examine your diet by adding or cutting out foods or beverages. Recharge with negative ions from the sun's rays, moving water, plants, thunder, and lightning, which studies have found could help regulate sleep and mood, reduce stress, boost immune system function, increase metabolism, and promote antimicrobial activity. Ground your energy by gardening or touching the earth. Go hiking or walking, dance or exercise. Practice yoga to balance energy centers. Create through art or music. Manage stress by practicing mindfulness. An example is expressing gratitude while preparing and eating meals, which infuses positive energy into your food and body. Regulate emotions through awareness, breathing, and journaling how you feel. Use prompts such as, am I making healthy choices? Is my energy balanced? What needs to be prioritized? Repeat positive affirmations like in this video or write your own. Other ways are listed below. And I also post tips or reflections on Instagram at elevating.elements. The link is in the pinned comment. I invite you to explore what works for you and check out the wellness application tools at elevatingelements.com. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, and until next time, be well.